Good evening, Yorktown. This is Matt Slater, Town Supervisor, coming to you from the Town Board Room. Today is April 2nd, Thursday, April 2nd, just after 6 p.m. Coming to you with another update regarding COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. Today's numbers, again, continue to rise, as reported by New York State and Westchester County. Here in the town of Yorktown, we now have a confirmed 136 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Westchester County now has 11,567, which is an increase of 884. And New York State now has 92,381 cases, an increase of 8,669. As a reminder, and we made a point to be here today at the town boardroom to make sure those who don't have the capability of watching our updates on either our website or social media can get the information that we are sharing. As a reminder, yesterday we launched the COVID-19 Community Impact Dashboard right on our website. Again, it's a great tool for everyone at home to see the most updated information. You can also see the trajectory of the climb, both from the county and from the town of Yorktown. But again, we are now at 136 for the town of Yorktown, which is an increase of 11 from yesterday. The local death toll in Westchester County continues to rise. We are now at 67 of our Westchester residents, Westchester neighbors who've lost their battle with COVID-19. And across New York State, that number has now reached more than 2,000. Yesterday, I was on a conference call with the federal government and Dr. Fauci, who continues to do a tremendous job, a phenomenal job, educating the public. As a reminder for those who watched yesterday, but also for those who haven't seen yet, Dr. Fauci was adamant that the escalation over the next 2 weeks is going to be intense. It is going to be intense for us here in the town of Yorktown. We expect that apex in that time. He did emphasize that we can modify those projections through proper action. And so we've been talking an awful lot over the last, it seems, 6 weeks about the importance of social distancing. Again, that's that 6-foot barrier between individuals, as well as proper hygiene. Now, my understanding is that CDC is also recommending cloth masks for individuals leaving their homes. And I was driving around town today. I was right in the middle of the Heights at one point, and I did see a number of people driving with masks. And I have one. This isn't a cloth mask, but this is just one example of a mask that this is one of the surgical antibacterial masks. And so it is being recommended by the CDC that folks, and I agree, I think it's time that we encourage folks to be utilizing cloth masks when they are out in the public. Again, we have here our plastic gloves. We have seen, I think, reports from our code enforcement and police that we've seen a decrease in litter, which I really appreciate our residents being more mindful and being more socially responsible. But if you are taking gloves, which I would also urge and recommend you do when you're out in public, do not discard them outside of your car. Again, and I'm happy to do a quick demonstration as I did before. As a reminder, I don't have my plastic bag with me, but I would encourage everybody to have a Ziploc bag handy so that when you do remove your gloves, again, your gloves, so we're going to take, as I showed once before, you're going to flip them inside out, and then you're going to, as I was told, place in the palm of your hand, using your glove, flip it inside out again, and then you're going to place it in your plastic bag. Do not discard them outside of your car. Do not discard them on the sidewalk. Do not discard them in our parking lots. Our code enforcement and police are out. They have already issued fines for those who have already been caught littering. It is against the law. And again, we are out enforcing with high alert, because I think not only is it disgusting, but frankly, potentially dangerous for our fellow residents utilizing public places. Our parks, our active parks remain closed. Our passive parks remain open. Again, active parks include our playgrounds, basketball courts, our sports fields. The track at Veterans Field remains closed, and I want to thank the residents for respecting its continued closure. We have not seen, I was there again today, late morning, and there was nobody on the track, so thank you for your patience and understanding. FDR Park remains open. That is a state park. It is open for folks to use. Again, we urge and encourage you, if you are going to be in the park or on the North County Trailway, which is a county trailway, to make sure that you are observing the social distancing. As a reminder, if you are in FDR Park, though, according to New York State, all playgrounds, athletic courts, and sporting fields are closed within our state parks. So please do not go to our state park of FDR and think you're going to be on a basketball court or utilizing their playgrounds or any of their sports fields. They are closed. They're prohibited, again, because you are trying to enforce and remind people the importance of social distancing, that 6-foot barrier. Again, for those who did not see yesterday, I was on a conference call at Northern Westchester Hospital. They provided an update to a number of supervisors, of myself included, from Northern Westchester. Just a quick recap on that. Their emergency department was, as of yesterday, mostly empty and does remain open. Most who are testing positive for COVID-19, actually, are being quarantined at home. We're seeing that as a directive, actually, that we're seeing across the state, unless they're seeing and experiencing significant symptoms. At the time, this was about noon yesterday, there were 56 COVID-19 patients in the hospital. They hosted a community meeting today. We shared that information on our social media page, but the Northern Westchester Hospital hosted a community meeting earlier this afternoon. And echoing Dr. Fauci, they were encouraging the public to practice social distancing and to let the public know that the hospital is well prepared and positioned for the coming weeks. Again, that apex which we expect and the projections expect to be in the next, anywhere from the next 2 to 3 weeks. I spoke with some folks at New York Presbyterian Hudson Valley Hospital today. We expect a similar update from them next week. We're hoping they're going to join us here, and we'll provide more information as that unfolds. The state budget was, I believe it was officially passed, unless the Assembly is still debating on the floor right now. I spoke with both Senator Harcum and Assemblyman Byrne today, and both from their respective houses. And, the state budget, we're still going to have an understanding of what it does and what it means for the town of Yorktown, especially financially. My understanding is that the AIM funding, which is funding for municipalities, remain the same as the year previous, as well as our CHIPS funding and the extreme winter recovery money for our roads. So I know Highway Superintendent Paganelli is going to be very happy about that. And we're going to get more details as they become available to us, and we're happy to share that with all of you in partnership with our state legislators. Landscaping has been a hot topic. I've been getting a lot of calls and questions. I want to emphasize, as I have done a number of times, this is an unprecedented situation. It's very fluid. When New York went on pause, which is a 100% reduction of non-essential workforce, there was guidance and clarification provided by New York State. Though that guidance and that clarification has been modified several times, it was modified today. We thought that landscaping was covered under one section and was given a specific directive. and we reported that online, and now it has changed, and so I want to read this specifically. At this time, horticulture is designated as a non-essential business with the exception of nurseries, greenhouses, selling food, and producing plants. Please note that landscaping for maintenance and pest control purposes has been designated as essential. And everyone is encouraged and urged to visit the Empire State Development Corporation's website. You can also find that link right on our town website, yorktownny.org, and it provides our website is a great resource with an enormous amount of information for the public to further understand and be educated about the different changes. Some of those changes also include the Beeline bus system. The Beeline bus system is scaling back due to a significant drop in ridership. So starting yesterday, the Beeline bus system will operate on a Saturday schedule 6 days a week. And you can go find this information again right on the town's website. In addition, Metro North had some changes as well. And I'm going to pull that up real quick here. Metro North announced changes. And you can find that online. They're running on a weekend schedule. And also our bulk pickup, we have updated our bulk pickup schedule. Section 2 begins April 6th, Section 3 April 20th, and Section 4 May 4th. Again, Section 2 is April 6th, Section 3 is April 20th, and Section 4 is May 4th. As a reminder, please do not put your bulk trash, and I understand we're all home and we're all getting to that list of chores that seem to never end and pass with each month, but please do not put your bulk trash out weeks ahead of when you're scheduled to begin. Our staff is out there, they're working. They are working at a 50% reduction, so it's a smaller crew. More trash, less staff means it takes longer for us to get through each section, which is why we've had to push the Section 3 and 4 start dates. Speaking of services, again, Town Hall employees continue to work remotely for the rest of this week. We did have 2 employees test positive for COVID-19. Both are doing well, but Town Hall employees are continuing to work remotely. Town services, though, are continuing to be provided. Our Senior Nutrition Center, I was down there today, continued to provide meals to over 100 seniors, homebound seniors, and they do a fantastic job. Our Highway Department continues to work. They're out there sweeping our streets. I was with Highway Superintendent Paganelli this morning at the corner of Veterans Road and Commerce Street because that traffic light, which we were trying to get repaired, and with help from Greenberg and our good friend Rich Fahn, we were able to get that repaired, and so that traffic light is fully functional. And my wife doesn't know this, but I was with our water department as they fixed a water main break up in Countryside, up on Columbine Court. And so, again, we are continuing to function. Government continues to provide essential services to the residents of Yorktown, which we understand and recognize is critically important. So we've talked about the bulk pickup. We've talked about litter. I also want to talk about the tax issue. Tax bills have been sent from the town of Yorktown, and they have been received by many. As a reminder, the town of Yorktown does not have the authority to extend the tax deadline, nor do we have the authority to waive penalties and fees. However, I continue to have intense conversations with our partners in government, both on the state and county level, to provide relief to those who may be facing financial hardship because of the COVID-19 crisis. At this point in time, though, April 30th remains the tax deadline. And so until we have any news or word from our partners on the county or the state level, who I know are working diligently to provide some flexibility and support and relief for those who have been negatively impacted financially by the COVID-19 crisis. I think everyone's been, for the most part, negatively impacted. But for those who are facing significant financial hardship, we are hoping to have some flexibility and relief at some point in time. But at this point, again, April 30th remains the tax deadline. And with that being said, again, we continue to be committed to providing verified and accurate information. And I've heard a number of, I keep getting calls about the grocery stores. Grocery stores obviously are continuing to perform an essential duty to the town of Yorktown. We want to thank all of our grocery store workers for their diligence and hard work. We believe, and our building department was out there today, that our grocery stores are doing all they can to enforce social distancing within their stores. And I know it's not always perfect, but they are doing the best they can, and we're providing some support in certain ways that we can as a municipality. But there's also some social responsibility. So please keep in mind, when you're in those grocery stores, 6 feet apart, that's social distancing. That's the marker that we're trying to use, is that 6-foot barrier to keep you healthy and safe. Places like Acme, the Chicos, they have plexiglass up for their workers, especially at the cash registers. Please respect that. Let's not be trying to skirt the plexiglass. That's there for their staff's protection as well as yours. And also, I want to point out, especially at Acme, they have arrows indicating which way to go up and down aisles. Please do your best to respect that as well. Again, that is there for your safety, health, and well-being. The more we do these things together, the better off we're all going to be. And again, I know that these are unprecedented. They're trying times. They're unnerving times. They're scary times. We have these conversations with my 4-year-old son, trying to keep things in perspective, but also reassure him that we're going to be okay. And I truly believe we are. It is a very dangerous virus, but the more we do together in regards to honoring social distancing, in regards to not littering and basic hygiene, and frankly just common sense, the better off we're all going to be. There's been some incredible success stories in Yorktown, from Game Sportswear to some of our neighbors who are collecting money to pay our first responders for food for the JV Mall and the Yorktown Chamber for starting free food for first responders Fridays, and that's again tomorrow for all of our first responders. You can go up to Lyle and get the best grilled cheese you can find in Yorktown for free. But these are all just small examples of Yorktown's perseverance, of Yorktown's grit, but also our belief in community. And we continue to personify our values publicly. And I couldn't be more proud to not only be a member of this community, but to be in a position that I am today with so many great things that our neighbors are doing. So please continue to keep your heads up. Continue to practice the social distancing and safe hygiene. And again, as I said before, continue to utilize our website, yorktownny.org. It is just a wealth of information. We continue to update it as we get information, so you don't have to always wait until these briefings. We actually provide that information as we get it right on that website. And again, you can always reach out to me directly. I know that Town Hall, again, employees are working remotely, but we are continuing to check voicemails, we're continuing to check emails, and we're continuing to provide essential services for the residents of Yorktown. You can call me directly at 914-962-5722, extension 200. Again, that's 914-962-5722, extension 200. And you can email me any time of day. I answer emails as I get them, at least I try. And that's mslater@yorktownny.org. Again, mslater@yorktownny.org. I continue to be in constant contact with all of our town board members, and I want to thank them once again for their partnership and leadership. I want to thank our first responders and frontliners for just their incredible sacrifice and dedication for helping those in need. I know that my family, my kids and I, last night, we lit our candle for our first responders and frontliners, because they're the true heroes, as well as our postal service workers, our grocery store workers, and everyone who keeps stepping up to the plate for each other and for the residents of Yorktown. So again, as we get verified information, we'll be back tomorrow night. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much.